just at the start of a brand new year, 2023. Let's hope crypto starts going up and up as the year goes along. Hi, Cameron. How's it going?
Good, bro. Good, bro. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. It's great to see you here today with the Dynamic.fi project. We've got about a minute to go, so I'll just let everyone get into the VC, and I'll start the recording, introduce you, and we can go into the Dynamic.fi project.
Perfect. Thank you. And for anyone who wants to check it out, I did send a short little overview inside the chat.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we lock the chat and we'll send all your socials in there for the community investors to see as well as we're going along.
Nice.
A minute here and then I'll start the recording, Cameron. Okay, we're on the hour. If you're ready, Cameron, I can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Always ready.
Okay, I'll just start recording 1 sec. Hello and welcome to the Welcome Talk community. I'm Glenn, your host. Today we have joining us Dynamic.fi. And Dynamic is a non-custodial lending software for next generation savers. They pool yield from top markets, consolidate it into your preferred asset and distribute it daily. So we'll be going into that and everything else about the project shortly. But yeah, we've got Cameron here. He's the co-founder and product designer. So maybe we can start with your background and experience, Cameron.
Yeah, thanks so much. And thanks for having me. This is awesome. I really love Whalecoin Talk. I followed you guys for a long time, so it's great. And so, yeah, guys, well, hey, I'm Cameron. We're fully doxed. And for the rest of our team, you guys can check us out in our documentation. And so I've been working online since I was 16. I'm 22 now, so 6 years experience. And just tons of social media marketing and web design experience as well. My first project was Cash.io with 2 A's. That was started back in 2021, end of 2021. So we were, I had 2 other co-founders for that one, and that had stealth launched at 5K market cap. We got it up to 4.5 million. That was a 900x. So that was pretty interesting. And we had, that was based around a profile system for wallet addresses, but that was just my first entrance into DeFi. So I got more involved into the lending markets and things like that over the next few months and throughout 2022. So back in May 2022, we started building Dynamic. So this has been in the process for 6 to 7 months now. And so we're super excited to be just getting the brand awareness going. And so we have our pre-sale for Dynamic on Friday. We did complete a private sale. 40K is funded through that. And so we have some private sale investors who are getting some vested tokens. We can talk about all that later as well. So yeah, guys, we pretty much have tons of experience in the space, and our platform is also already built and ready. So it's kind of nice for our community. They'll be able to enjoy it at launch. And yeah, so if you want to also test it out or secure your username on our site, you can go connect your wallet now and basically get everything set up. All you need to test deposits as well is testnet BNB or testnet ETH on the Goerli network. I always say that wrong. Yeah, so that's a little intro.
Thanks very much for the introduction, Cameron. And maybe we can start for community investors with an introduction to the Dynamic.fi project.
Yeah, instructions for it, or what was your question?
Introduction, sorry, yeah.
I'm not sure I understand that question.
Just an introduction into the project for the community investors.
So yeah, just a bit about it.
That'd be great, yeah.
Sure. So yeah, basically Dynamic is personal saving software. There's 2 reasons you'll use us. It's to earn interest or borrow against your assets. So if you want to hold your ETH, but you have some bill coming up, then you could supply your ETH, and up to 80% of that value you can borrow and put in your bank directly from our platform. So yeah, it's a full service lending platform where basically we end to end, you can connect and withdraw your funds directly to your bank. But we automate the yield collection. So that's one of the most important things, that instead of going with the underlying money markets that we're built on top of, what we allow you to do is choose what your payouts come in, and we distribute them daily. So you can choose stable coins, the native, like let's just say Ethereum or Bitcoin, or you can choose Dyna payouts. So that way you can just stake super easily. So that's basically the main features of Dynamic, and all the yield that comes through our platform also is moving through Dyna. So it's a very nice flywheel that we've set up. So basically, all of our fees are also supporting Dyna as well. So yeah, we basically have designed this so it's a very bullish system all around for our community and for Dyna holders.
Awesome, Cameron. And yeah, so as if we can do sort of high level, if you're a new investor and you've not been involved with vaults before, so how does it work? How can they get involved? Can we just sort of do a run through
Yeah,
how it works for
definitely.
everyone?
So firstly, guys, there's centralized offerings in the lending space and there's decentralized offerings, but we're sort of in the middle. So we give you guys the experience like a centralized offering where you can connect your bank account and it's everything in one place, including the lending and the swaps. But we're built on the sustainable, efficient markets, which are the decentralized ones like Compound and Venus Protocol. So, uh, yeah, pretty much we're that middle ground that is what I think will get us to mass adoption of saving in this manner that's actually lending. So how vaults work is instead of basically having to manually claim your yield like you would if you used Compound directly or Venus Protocol, then what you can come to expect with Dynamic is your payouts once per day. So it just saves you that time and is basically auto compounding your yield for you. So that's how the vaults work. And also, it's important to note when you deposit with Dynamic, we mint you. They're called DAI tokens. So it could be DAI BTC, and then that will sit in your wallet as a receipt token until you're ready to redeem it for your underlying back. So that's how the process works and how you can be, secure where where your funds are at all times. And it's not like they're hidden like the FTX centralized side because we deal with the decentralized money markets that we're built on top of. So you always know your funds are secure. So that's how it kind of works.
I see, Cameron. And you've also got a 12% fee from the accrued yield. So I'm wondering where the profits are going to go for. Is it going to go for marketing, buyback, and burns?
Yep, good question. So first we take performance fees. So that's on the yield, like what you're talking about there. And then we also do have the transaction fees, like on our same chain and cross chain swaps. So all of our fees currently, our treasury strategy is buying Dyna. So that's right there. But basically, if you're choosing your payouts in Dyna, then the yield that's being generated from users lending is already being used to buy Dyna automatically and distributed. But if you're choosing, let's say, stable payouts or native payouts, what we actually do is split our performance fee in half and use that to buy Dyna. So it doesn't matter whether you're lending or choosing stable payouts or native payouts, you're always going to be supporting Dyna if you're using this platform. So yeah.
I see, Cameron. I mean, you've also got the dynamic pay, so you can use your username or custom, excuse me, custom
Yep.
QR code. So there's no copy and paste. And how does that work for
Yep.
investors? Is that built into to a DApp on the website?
Yep, it's just convenience to include that. And yeah, no fee on transfers. It's just for you guys to be able to not send to incorrect addresses. Of course, you'll just need a username and you could also attach a note to your transfers. So just a convenience factor there.
And you've got you can stake the YNA token as well. What's the sort of APR and APY investors can get through
Yep.
the token
So
staking?
we have three different pools for staking. So first one is single staking, and that's going to be the lowest APR, which is 32%. Then we go to like Ethereum and BNB. So we're going to be offering staking on both of these, but start on both of these networks, I'm saying, but we're going to start with Ethereum. So basically like Dyna ETH pair will be, you could stake that LP token and earn up to 48%. And then for Dyna DAI pair, that's with the stable coin, you can stake that and earn up to 64% APR. So that is our sustainable we're not doing too crazy of APRs, but yeah, up to 64% is the highest for staking Dyna LP tokens.
I see, Cameron. And going back to the the vaults, which type of vaults? You've got different vaults. What sort of stable coins can you use, and other tokens like BNB, ETH, and Bitcoin?
Yep.
And in the future, you're looking to sort of expand it and offer a lot more inside the vaults for investors as
Yep.
well.
So currently we have pretty much just the popular ones, and we support Compound and Venus. So we go off the tokens that we want to use from their platform. So currently there's, I think, 6 on Ethereum and about 12 on Binance Smart Chain that we support. So there's a little bit more on the Binance side. But for Ethereum, we have DAI, USDC, and USDT, and then it's just Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Link. So we'll be launching our stablecoin vaults first. That will be the first ones launching. Yeah, just at the same time as our token launch on Saturday.
I see. Yeah, you're launching on the Ethereum blockchain, but yeah, you're heavily involved with the BSC chain as well. So I'm wondering if you're looking to go cross-chain with the token in the future, but first you're launching on the Ethereum blockchain.
Yes, and we already have our cross-chain bridge pretty much complete. We're going through some audit processes and things like that, but once we're finished with that, then we'll open the bridge and begin the BSC side. So then we'll open those markets and allow people to lend and borrow through that side. But so yeah, it's coming soon, but we'll start with the Ethereum side, and once everything's smooth, then we'll start bridging over.
And then you've got a roadmap for future utilities. You've got the loops, the leverage lending. How will
Yeah.
that work for investors?
Yeah, so it's quite popular for users in the space to supply some asset like Ethereum, borrow some USDT, but maybe you don't have any use case for that USDT, like you just want to go long Ethereum. So you can swap that USDT that you borrowed into more Ethereum and resupply that. But what I just explained is like 3 different steps. It's, supply, borrow, swap, and resupply are 4 steps actually. So our loops are leverage lending in one click. So that's what we're hoping to achieve with that, is allow you guys to get your leverage exposure that you want just in one click without having to go through, those 4 steps I just mentioned.
Great, Cameron. And you've also got the DY SDK. It's a source of truth for money aggregation and automation. You're building that for the future as well.
Yes, we haven't put too much attention on the SDK yet. That's a software development kit, so people can start building on top of Dynamic. I have some incredible templates that we can share that people can just go ahead and use, like for their own projects. Things related to launch pads that have, highly capital efficient systems, where basically, like, when you deposit in the launch pad, it lends the funds. So, it's not like the funds that are being raised are just sitting there. So yeah, just some different ideas. And also we're looking to partner with more traditional institutions like credit unions, so they can build on top of us and white label the borrowing, because Bitcoin backed loans and Ethereum backed loans are, I believe, going to be quite popular in the future, just like borrowing against stocks is popular for many CEOs and things like that. So I think a lot of these institutions are interested in offering these Ethereum backed loans to their clients, and we at Dynamic are prepared to serve them like to the fullest extent. So yeah, that's about the software development kit, but that will come later.
I see, and I saw you had tutorials for new investors as well. That's great on the website. So you're looking to educate and offer resources for new investors as well through the Dynamic project.
Yes, always, always. And our liquidation engine is actually making sure that everyone's, always safe with their funds. So what will happen is, if the value of your collateral goes down to the point where you go past the threshold of 80%, what will happen is it's not just going to sell your whole bag and you're screwed. What will happen is it'll just sell just enough to bring you under 80%. And so that's the ratio that you're allowed to borrow up as the max. So that's the loan to value ratio.
I see, Cameron. And going back to the vaults, I mean, what sort of APR, APY can investors make through the vault system?
Yeah, good question. So you're always earning more with Dynamic than you would directly with Compound or Venus. And that's because the yield is made up of three factors. It's firstly the underlying interest, which is, let's say you're lending Ethereum, you're going to be earning some Ethereum. You're also going to be earning the incentive token, which is on Ethereum, it will be comp, which is Compound's token, and on Venus, it's XVS token. And then the third factor is our Dynaboost. So that's three factors that make up the APY. And what we do is wrap those three into one and distribute that according to your preferences. So you may want, the stablecoin payouts, or you may want the native payouts in just Ethereum. If you're long Ethereum, you may want to get paid out in Dyna. So it's according to your preferences, but we wrap up that yield and just distribute it in one group.
Cameron, and are you looking, like I've mentioned it before, to expand the vaults and make partnerships and offer other projects to come into the dynamic vaults in the future?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we can do around partnerships. I'm mostly, if a token is supported on one of the lending markets that we plug into, then it's easy for us to add it. If they're not supported there, then we might have to think about deploying our own money market for them. But yeah, for some low cap tokens, I wouldn't recommend allowing the lending just for price manipulation if the liquidity in the pool is low. But for some higher cap tokens with sufficient liquidity, we're definitely looking to expand.
Awesome. And we touched on the private sale there. You said 40K was raised there, and I think you mentioned the vesting period. So them tokens are locked for a certain period. And how is it going to work for the Unicrypt pre-sale? How can investors get involved?
Yeah, guys. So we do have the private sale investors with 40% unlocked and 60% locked. So over 6 months, they will get their tokens. And so for the Unicrypt pre-sale, it's public, no whitelist, and the first 25 Ethereum contributed will earn the 15% bonus. So that's pretty exciting. And so I'd love to see any of you guys join. And yeah, guys, so that's coming up on Friday it's 3 p.m. EST, it's 12 p.m. PST, and it's 8 p.m. UTC. So that's Friday. It's a 24-hour pre-sale. And like I said, yeah, first 25 Ethereum contributed earns that 15% bonus.
Awesome. Is it opening up to everyone? Is there whitelist spots? How does it
Yep,
work? Investors?
exactly. So it's going to be no whitelist, just first come, first serve. And we're raising 50 to 100 ETH. So 50 soft cap, 100 hard cap.
Awesome. And you've also got a referral system. Can that be used for influencers and individual investors to bring their friends and
Yes,
family in?
totally. Yep, and it's a pretty good one. We have it set up to be give 10 and get 10. All you have to do is have your referral just deposit $100 in one of our vaults for at least 24 hours. So that is how that referral system works. And yeah, we have some plenty of rewards to basically cover that for covering our lending rewards, our staking rewards, and the referral rewards. So we set aside 30% of the supply for the rewards. So we do have plenty to go, and they're also locked. Like we don't just have them in the wallet sitting there.
I see, coming, yeah. And maybe we can go into the tokenomics breakdown and if there's a buy and sell tax on the dynamic token.
Yeah. So there's no buy and sell tax. We're just gonna keep it that way for now, and unless we decide as a community that we want to implement one, but I don't see a reason why we would need to. As far as the tokenomics go, the max supply that there could ever be is 400,000. So it's a pretty low supply, and so we will see what the price action looks like. But I'm very excited to get launched. And yeah, guys, so we have like 25% of the supply set aside for our liquidity. We're adding about half of that right off the bat, and then we're going to be bridging like a quarter of it to Binance Smart Chain and the rest of it to other chains as we see fit in the future and as we vote as a community. Yeah, so if you guys want to get the full breakdown of our tokenomics, you can check our documentation and you'll see the whole details right there.
Okay, great, Cameron. And you're also going to have a swap available for investors. Is that going to be available on launch, or is that coming sort of in the first quarter?
Yep. So same chain swaps will be available at launch. That's on Ethereum. And then when we open our bridge to BSC, that's when the cross chain swaps will open as well. So that will be within the first 1 to 2 weeks of the project. So yeah, it's exciting. And we do take a small fee on swaps, but we use that fee to buy Dyna.
I see, Cameron. And with you going cross-chain, are you looking to go multi-chain in the future to maybe Polygon or AVAX or other chains in the future? Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So we have our eyes set on ETH and BSC for sure, but beyond that, I want it to be a community discussion. I think that AVAX or Polygon they're perfect, but if for some reason the community wants to deploy on Doge chain or something else or something unique, like we're totally for it. Dyna is going to be the voting mechanism for deciding on where we expand to. So yeah, we totally have a lot of ways we can take this, but we already have so much built that we're really in a good spot as far as like foundation wise.
I see, Cameron. You mentioned voting there. So is it going to be a governance token with a DAO with voting rights in the future as well?
Yes, exactly. So we're not a DAO at the moment, but we're still going to use Dyna as a voting mechanism. It's I think that us not being a DAO at the moment is actually an advantage for us because we can move very quickly. Um, Additionally, we offer like that bank account connection where you can deposit and withdraw directly from your Web3 wallet inside our platform. So I haven't seen any decentralized products offering that. Um, so yeah, we still want to include the community and vote with Dyna, even if we're not exactly a DAO at the moment.
Awesome, Cameron. And you mentioned the team's doxed there. So yeah, maybe we can go into a bit of a background for the rest of the core team. And I think you've got another co-founder as well.
Yep. So the other co-founder is my guy Mickey. So you guys can check out his information in our documentation. You can click the link and see his GitHub. But he has been active in software development for 10 years. He's a couple years older than me as well, but he's based in Vietnam. And so, of course, crypto is massive in Vietnam as well. And I have a lot of experience working with Mickey. So we work really well together. And Mickey manages some other engineers that we work with as well that support us. So you may notice that we have in our meet team section of our documentation, it says plus more contributors. And that's just because I can't even name all of the people who have supported us and helped us build Dynamic over the last 6 months. It's been a handful of amazing team members. So we've all came together and really made it happen.
Awesome. Yeah, I think I was reading Mickey's a Solidity dev, and you've got Josh as well, the community manager. So that's great for the team. And you mentioned in the past, you've had stealth launches, and so have you learned sort of lessons from that in the past? And does it help you build, into each project you've done, over your career?
Yeah, definitely. So pretty much have learned just how to navigate this market, how to get that brand awareness that we need. I think that user experience is the most important thing here, and so I don't see any other competitor offering the experience that we do in the sense that we're the finest middle ground between the centralized lenders that are blowing up and going bankrupt, but people really love those user experiences. But then the DeFi side, where the user experience isn't quite top notch, but at least it's sustainable, it's efficient, and it's quite amazing, like the breakthroughs that we're making in DeFi. So we are that perfect middle ground where we offer sort of like the centralized experience, but we're built on the most efficient money markets in the world.
Awesome, Cameron. And yeah, so can we maybe go into, you've got the solid brief audit, so that's great. Go into the marketing plan, say for the first quarter, what's going to happen going on
Yeah,
into
guys.
the year.
So the day after we launch on Saturday, so it will be Sunday, we'll begin our first community competition. This will include some incredible rewards, and there will be a Medium post on it. So just stay tuned for the details about that. But beyond our competitions, we have influencers that we're focusing on. So that's on TikTok, Reels, YouTube Shorts, and just YouTubers in general. So stay tuned for those that are coming out. We'll post the links on our Twitter for the reviews. And beyond that, partnerships are super important. So we're working on a handful of those, including marketing partnerships and other project partnerships. So yeah, we have a couple in mind, but the main thing that will happen is increasing our brand awareness. So paid advertising, um, the influencers, like I mentioned, and the partnerships are the most important that we're focused on.
Awesome, great comment. Let's open it up to community investors. Let's see, Syed, you had a question for Cameron at Dynamic.fi. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. I have a few questions. So I have read on your documents that through a native or partner integration, you will offer position coverage for investors of all size hedge against risks like market liquidity and hacks. So I want to understand that with all the funds deposited by the investors in the vaults be insured in case of any exploits or hacks, and will there be any limit on maximum amount of fund that can be insured? And do users have to pay any extra fee for availing this service?
Yeah, that's a great question. That shows me you're really diving deep into the docs, so that's awesome. So we have a couple partners in mind for that. The bigger ones like Nexus Mutual, they require like 10 to 50 million total value locked to uh, get coverage by them. But uh, we are working towards it, and so I haven't finalized who our provider will be, but yeah, though there's a handful of them, and then as far as your question of is there a cost and stuff, yes, there's a small extra charge. It's called cover. So yeah, you just pay a little bit more, and then you'll have that sense of security for that. But we haven't implemented the insurance yet. It's just still being worked on, and we do need some value in our platform before some of these uh, insurance providers will work with us.
Understood. It makes sense. Okay, moving to my next question. So I was wondering that Dynamic platform is going to offer fixed APY, or you are offering variable APY, and are users able to switch between the fixed and the variable APY if they want to?
It's a great question. At launch, we're based on variable APY, so it actually allows you to earn higher than like if we fixed it. So yeah, our average APYs is going to be like between 9 to 15%, and that's because our Dyna Boost starts at 8% and works its way down as our platform fills up with funds. So you can see how that boost works in our documentation. But yeah, so average APYs you can expect are like from 9 to 15%.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, I can also see on your documents that you will build one-click solution to help user implement DCA in their own portfolios. So I was thinking that as there are some limitations to the DCA strategy, so will investors be able to select other investment strategies as well?
Yes, so that's bringing up the dollar cost averaging feature. So we're still working on that, and it hasn't been pushed to the user interface yet. So I won't say too much about it, but we have some just basically I've been getting feedback about our product for the last 6 months. So these are all things that we want to build towards, like that insurance coverage, what you're talking about for the fixed yield, the dollar cost averaging. These are things that we will look to in the future and discuss with our community about. So yeah, that's just some background about that.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so I've also read that you are planning on adding the functionality to the dynamic to enable investors to to use their accord interest to repay the loans automatically. So can you briefly explain how will the automatic self-repaying loan going to work in future?
Yes, basically self-repaying loans. This is where you're depositing some asset, you're borrowing some, but your yield from your deposit is being used to repay that borrow. So it's kind of a passive situation for you. But that's another thing that is coming in the future that I think you're finding like at the bottom in our interests. So these are things that we're thinking about, that we want to discuss with the community about, but we haven't implemented them yet.
Okay, got it. So I want to know that what minimum and the maximum amount of tokens worth in US dollar can customer borrow by depositing the collateral?
Since we're built on top of Compound and Venus, we take the liquidity from there. So really, like you can deposit as much as you prefer and then borrow up to 80% of it. They currently hold billions of dollars, so there's tons of liquidity there. And then as far as our Dyna pre-sale, there's no minimum buy for that, and the maximum buy per wallet is zero point 0.5 ETH. So yeah, like I said before, the first 25 Ethereum contributed to Unicrypt on our pre-sale, they'll be rewarded a 15% bonus.
Okay, understood. So it's mentioned on your website that the smart contract will route users' fund into the world's largest DeFi lending pools. So I was wondering who will decide that which DeFi lending pool a user's fund go to? Will it be through voting or any AI algorithm will be determined this process?
Yep. So we basically have already chosen for Ethereum and Binance. And then the ones that we can discuss with the community would be for future chains. So first we'll have to decide the chains we want to expand to, and then we can decide if they have the money markets that we can plug into, or if we need to deploy our own money market for that chain. So yeah, the funds on Ethereum are going to Compound, which is one of basically the OG money market protocol. AV actually came after Compound, so we're really excited to be working on the OG money market. And yeah, Venus is also a fork of Compound, so we're excited to. It makes our job easy, you know, if we're just using kind of the same code between them.
Got it. Got it. Okay, final question. So I was wondering, will you also be offering flash loans, which are uncollateralized loans without borrowing limits, in which users are able to borrow funds and return them in the same transaction for maybe arbitrage, swapping collateral, and self-liquidation as well?
Yeah, so those will not necessarily be included on our platform, but for anyone who wanted to access those, they're on Compound or you know, like AV. They offer those flash loans. We're more about the lending and borrowing and the yield that's being uh, distributed through that and through Dyna.
Yeah, it makes sense. Thank you so much for answering all my questions. Over to you, Glenn.
No problem, bro. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the questions, Syed. Let's move to Western Beast. You had a question for Cameron at Dynamic.fi. Go ahead.
Thanks, Glenn. Okay, I actually love to pull off 40,000 40K on your private sale, some of which you have already said you use for marketing. Now, not very many projects can actually pull off this feat. You actually talked about it a bit earlier. So how did you make it a win-win for both you, the dynamic fee, and the private investors that actually put their money here? Because I'm made to understand that I think there's a lockup period of 6 months. Am I correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. They're vested, private sale.
Okay. So now I'm on your website. I tried connecting initially on my PC because I actually have the Trust Wallet Chrome extension on my browser, but it kept saying that it couldn't find the wallet. But when I did it with my phone, it actually just went through as once. So are there plans to integrate these features in the
Yeah,
future?
thank you for bringing that to my attention. We'll definitely repair that as soon as possible. It should work for desktop and mobile, so thank you for letting me know.
All right, that's good. That's good. Sounds good. Let's talk about the loops that's currently under development. It's actually a unique experience to get one-click leverage smart contracts. I believe it's connected to your SDK somehow. Can people connect when people are building on the SDK? Is it going to be connected to these loops?
Yes, exactly. So all of our features will be accessible through our SDK. So whether that's, stable payouts or native payouts, like maybe someone who's building on top of us doesn't want Dyna payouts. So maybe they just choose stable payouts. Like you can pick the pieces that you want to use from our platform. So yeah, that will come with Dai SDK, but that's coming later. So for now, we're focused on the pre-sale, the launch, and then beyond that, just building brand awareness for Dynamic in general and reaching the millions of users we know we can.
Okay, okay. Okay, all right. So, how far have you gone? Have there been any project that have gone through beta testing?
What was your question? How long have we been in beta, or what
So,
was your question?
have there been any projects that have gone on beta testing?
I don't know what you're saying, bro. Something about beta testing.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm asking. Aside from loops, I believe there are other projects that are under development. Are there any others that are going on through that's reached phase of beta testing?
So Dynamic, the beta is going live on Saturday. So we'll start our 24-hour pre-sale on Friday at 8 p.m. UTC. So that's like 3 p.m. EST, 12 p.m. PST, and basically then we'll launch, and then we're going to be in our beta for the foreseeable future until we think that we're totally ready to release the move out of beta into just normal mode. So yeah, anyone who's using Dynamic now, we are in beta, and you can actually go onto the site and secure your username, and it will be the same one when we're actually live. So for anyone who wants to get set up, you can go ahead and connect up and see what we're all about.
Okay, man. Okay, I understand that clearly now. Earlier when I asked about, the loops, you actually said that when people integrate with your SDK, they can choose the option of stable coin payouts or even their own coin payouts or Dyna payouts. I believe just like every other project, it will be more advantageous to run the payouts on Dyna formats, right? Because
It's
I
true,
actually
but
want to.
it's a good point you bring up, but it doesn't matter if a user has chosen stable or native, because what we do is we take half of our performance fee, which is on yield that's earned. So it's not like it's just a transaction fee. It's only when you make money we'll take a performance fee. So we split that performance fee and we use half of it to buy Dyna. So that's for the stable or native. So either way, you're supporting Dyna, and so I think that answers your question there.
Come on, it's actually clearer now. It actually does. All right. The next question I actually have is about your referral system. Please, I'd like us to talk about is it going to be like a tiered referral system, and how many tiers are going to be there?
It's a good question. I think that it's possible for us to make, this whole long 3-tiered, 4-tiered thing, but no, not for right now. Like, we're launching it with just simple, copy your link. You have your custom link there, and you can share your link, and then you can track all your earnings right there on the page. So it's not really tiered necessarily. It's just give 10, get 10. So it's one at a time. If your referral deposits that 100 and it remains in for at least 24 hours, then you will both be rewarded.
Sounds good. My last question is about your influencer activation. While that hasn't been checked yet on your roadmap, some people actually prefer to go for a class of high traffic high traffic influencers. They actually also negate the low traffic influencers. Would you guys, what requirements would these influencers have to get, keep in mind before they can either apply or before you approach them?
So we're looking to partner with tons of influencers, but mostly definitely in the crypto space, but also outside of it. So I have some personal connections with some YouTubers and things like that with over 10 million subscribers. So that's what I'm really talking about when I say the influencer activations. Yeah, so I won't release the name of that guy yet, but I do have a couple really good personal connections that I'm looking to work with so they can share Dynamic with the world.
I know I said that was my final question, but a train of thoughts just crossed my mind. I'd like us to talk about your bug bounty, where you exclusively said that team members, third-party suppliers, and previously discovered would not be allowed in and not eligible for these rewards. By threat level, you isolated it into only two, where there are actually three levels of threats that I'm actually familiar with. There's the minor, major, and extreme, but you only categorized it into just two. Why did you choose this threat level assessment?
Yeah, I think that's interesting you bring that up. It's totally fine if we put extreme as well, but to me, major is the same thing as extreme. We have basically tested and ran through these contracts for the last 3 months, so we're not expecting anything out of the ordinary. But you can never be so sure in DeFi. So we are getting some top tier audits of first week, which are with firstly Hacken. Hacken is a really good auditor and they charge a lot, but we are going to work with them. And so, yeah, we do have a couple others in mind, but we have tested these contracts for over 3 months now. So we are pretty confident in them.
Cameron, I really appreciate the detailed answers you gave to my questions. I'm wishing you guys the best, and I really hope that the dynamic project stays bullish moonward. Over to you, Glenn.
Thank you, bro. Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you for the questions, Western Beast. Yeah, we've got lots of hands up, but I've just got a question here. I was wondering about the bridge because we've had a lot of bridge exploits recently. So, what sort of security measures do you have in place around the bridging, Cameron?
Yep, it's a great question, and I do know that that has been an attack vector for projects. So that is the exact reason why I'm not in a super hurry to launch it. I want to launch it when I'm fully confident and also completed with the audits. So we're totally fine on Ethereum side, but as far as the BSC side, we will finalize all those audits and then release that within the first 2 weeks is the estimate. But yeah, I'm not in a hurry to do it on the first day at all by any means.
Okay, awesome, Cameron. Let's go back to community investor questions. Let's see, Venice, you had a question for Cameron at Dynamic.fi. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Glenn. I have a couple of the questions to ask Cameron. Okay,
Yes, sure.
I assume that, like other decentralized lending system, borrowers may post collateral before they can borrow. So what if someone create a fake or useless token, makes a fake price by giving it some value on Uniswap or PancakeSwap
Yeah.
and then use it as a collateral?
Yeah, it's a great question, but it's actually not possible with Dynamic. So we only support 6 tokens for lending and borrowing on Ethereum, and I think it's 12 on Binance Smart Chain. So these are all the very liquid, popular tokens like DAI, USDC, USDT, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Link. So that's the Ethereum side. And then on the BSC side, we have a few more, but it's pretty much just all the top tokens. So you can't really choose your own token to use as collateral.
Okay, that's great. And it got me thinking that is there any plan to also allow users to use NFTs as collateral and borrowing in future?
So I know a lot of people love NFTs, but personally, I don't think that I'm too interested in them. So I don't think that we'll integrate them. We're more so interested in building like futuristic saving products, like that people can actually like. This stuff is breakthrough technology, in my opinion. Like completely cutting out the banks from the picture and going peer to pool with your money is pretty insane to me. So that's what mostly gets me excited. And so yeah, I don't think we'll work with NFTs very much.
Yeah, I completely agree with you because I think to guarantee the same performance with NFTs as stable coins you have is not really possible. It is kind of complex thing. So it's good you guys are doing with the popular coins as a collateral. Okay, I have a question regarding dynamic pay because I read that we can attach a note to the transfer like a memo or message. So do you have any plan to also add a gift feature in the dynamic pay through which if users want to transfer funds in the form of a gift with a customized message or customized NFT card or anything similar to it that people can save in their wallets to keep them as memories, also
That's a great
kind of
idea.
redeeming
Yeah,
them?
yeah.
Yeah.
I really love hopping on these and discussing with communities just because these ideas come up. Like dude, that's totally awesome. And I'd love to discuss more with you. For anyone who has ideas for us, please join us on Telegram and let's discuss. We really can do anything we want. We have the team, we have the funding, everything is here to really make this huge. So we will do it. As far as that happening like right now, yeah, we're more focused on the pre-sale and the launch and getting all of our audits complete. But I love the idea, and so we do have an amazing foundation that's already built that we can pretty much expand on for all 2023. Like, we spent the last 6 months, 7 months building this, so now it's just time to get it out into the world and improve that user experience.
Yeah, that's great. I really like the idea that we don't need to copy and paste the addresses of people again and again. With the dynamic pay, we can. Um, I think it is more flexible, and you guys are adding a memo or note, so we can greet someone for their birthdays or any event coming up, and we can
Yep.
transfer them. Yeah, it's a great thing. Okay, one more thing. I also read on the white paper that you will offer position coverage for investors of all size to hedge against risks like underlying market liquidity, illiquidity, hacks, and more. So I believe hacks can be of any sizes. We have seen many news like hackers have hacked billion of dollars. So how do you plan to offer insurance if anything happens this much big?
Yeah, so we would work with a partner for insurance coverage. Like, I think we were touching on this a little earlier. Someone else also asked about this. So, yeah, Nexus Mutual is, I think, one of the biggest insurance providers. So they just require, I think it was 10 or 50 million. Some of the different, providers, they require different amounts for how much you have deposited in your platform. But yeah, so I'm pretty confident that Compound will never be hacked because it's held billions of dollars for how, like, I mean, it's been like how many years? Maybe 4 or 5 years now. So, or actually, maybe a little less than that, 2 to 3 years. But it seems like Compound is very locked down, secure. So no worries on that end. And then Venus side, they are a little bit newer, but since Binance is, backstopping them pretty much whenever something weird happens, like I'm pretty confident that we're in a good spot. We've chosen these partners, and I think that it will be totally good. I don't see anything bad happening.
Yeah, I think having great partnerships with bigger projects is really necessary these days, because you can't survive alone in this market, in this space. So it's good that you are looking for good partnerships. Okay, and I also like the idea of self-repaying loans. So if it gets, I know it's a bit early, but if it gets implemented successfully, do you have any plan to integrate any e-commerce platforms through which people can buy things via this self-repaying loan feature that pays some percentage to the platform from which a person has bought a product, so they don't need to worry about the installments of that product they are buying?
Yeah, I think, bro, there's so much we can discuss and build for Dynamic. Like, this is just the beginning. We spent the last 7 months getting this foundation made. Now it's time to get it into the world and further improve it. So we are here to discuss. I love discussing with you guys. You always bring the best ideas. So that's why it's also so important to use Dyna as a voting mechanism. So, we can actually see what the community wants. And so we're going to follow the community. We're not exactly a DAO, but I think that we have an advantage because we can move very quickly, being just a company in general. So yeah, guys, that's my kind of thought on that.
Yeah, that's great. And one last thing, as you mentioned that you will allow community to vote on some certain proposals that what you should do, but I think uh, but I see, I have seen that there could be a small group of people that know about a specific thing, that know more about a proposal that you guys will be offering as compared to the major group that are voting. So how will you consider their vote? Like, if there is a small group that know more about the proposal, but they are not voting, like they vote negatively on that proposal, but they have some good feedback along with their votes, so how will you just consider their voting system?
Well, I think we'll just discuss, and we'll figure out all of our things together as a community. I think that we have in Web3 communities as a superpower. 100 brains is so much better than one brain. So I really am excited to discuss with all the community the amazing features we can add and any improvements we can make. So it's really great to hear your guys' feedback, and just thanks so much, honestly.
Yeah, it's been really great talking to you, and I really loved reading about your project. You guys have some really great features, so thank you so much for answering all my questions and clearing all doubts I had.
No problem, bro. Best of luck.
Thank you for the questions, Venice. Let's move to Mr. C. You had a question for Cameron at Dynamic.fi. Go ahead.
Yeah, hello. Thanks for the opportunity. Well, I was just curious going through your TG. I saw about the
Hello?
Gut out there. Are you there, Mr. C?
TG. Is this still ongoing? And can you just explain in the about it?
You were cutting out there, Mr. C. Maybe you can repeat the question.
I was asking about the testnet. I saw on the TG on the project Telegram, and I wanted to know if you could explain more about it and if it's still ongoing.
Yes, perfect. So yes, our testnet is active right now, and it's actually it's a main net for like your profile, because it's, if you select your username, it's going to be the real username that you use when we switch to mainnet. But as far as deposits and borrows and stuff, all you need to do is, in our documentation on the very first page, we have links where you can find testnet Ethereum or testnet BNB, so you can understand what the process is like depositing and everything like that. So yes, the testnet is active, but you can also secure your real username just right now. So that will be active until Saturday. So Saturday, then we'll flip the switch. We'll list Dyna on Uniswap after our pre-sale finishes, and we'll get things going from there.
Okay, well, that's really nice. The white paper is updated, right, Cop? I would like to know the stability of your white paper. When last was it been updated or regulated?
Yep, it's updated. It's up to date with pretty much all the information. So just recently.
Okay, nice. Thanks. I'll dig more on that. Awesome project to know.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro.
Thanks for the question, Mr. C. Let's move to Grateful Soul. You had a question for Cameron at Dynamic.fi. Go ahead. Hey there, Grateful
Yeah,
Soul. Yeah.
everyone. Yeah, how y'all doing?
Hey, bro. Hey, bro.
So, what's up?
Not much. How are you? You got any
I'm
good
good. I'm good.
questions?
Yeah, I've got one or two questions to ask, and I need answers, just like usual.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, I would like to talk about the community policy of the platform to search legal movement, something that ensures the users to invest safely, not to be scammed. What type of security privacy do they offer?
So, firstly, we don't ever hold custody of users' funds. So that's the most important thing. That we're a non-custodial platform. So we're only routing your funds to the correct places. So then we inherit security from the underlying money markets like Compound and Venus. So already those are very secure. Another layer of security that we provide is our receipt token. So when you deposit, let's say, some Ethereum in Dynamic, you're going to receive in your wallet DAI ETH. So that's going to sit there until you want to redeem them for your underlying. So that's the process there. And yeah, does that make sense?
One more thing before I go. As usual, like we all know, community support is one of the biggest aspects of a project's success. Most projects have programs that interact with their users. What are your specific plans to attract or expand the community and improve the user experience? And does your current project take into account the various inputs and demand of your community?
Yeah, definitely. Good question. And like I said before, I'm really excited about building communities around Web3. And so I know that the power of a community like can bring. And so firstly, the day after we launch, so this will be Sunday, we will begin our first competition, the first community competition with some amazing rewards. So the article will be posted on Medium with all the details, and that will be based around user generated content. So we're encouraging the community to create short videos like for Instagram Reels or TikTok or YouTube Shorts, showing the dynamic chart like for Dyna, and also showing our platform as far as the lending and borrowing goes. So we do have a handful of competitions that will be coming up, but the first one is starting the day after launch. So that's going to be Sunday.
All right, that's great strategy and idea. Thanks for the answers. I wish this project success,
Thank you,
100%
bro.
success.
Thank you,
Yeah.
bro.
All right.
Okay, thank you for the questions, Grateful Soul. Yeah, we're running out of time, but we've got a few minutes left. So maybe if we can do a recap for the community investors that joined the call and missed the first half, Cameron, over the Dynamic.fi project, that'd be great.
Sure, just kind of close it out.
Just
Sure.
someone speaking out. I'll just mute someone there. Yeah, just yeah, a recap for anyone who joined the second half of the AMA and didn't see the first 30 minutes.
Sure.
Listening in. Yeah.
Yeah, guys. So there's pretty much just two reasons why you would use us: to earn interest or borrow against your assets. But the most important thing is that we have our big launch coming up at the end of this week. So starting Friday and then Saturday, we'll launch. So Friday will be the pre-sale. It's 24 hours, then the listing on Uniswap, and then the launch. So we are giving the first 25 Ethereum contributed a 15% bonus. So quite nice for anyone who gets in first. And there's no whitelist for the Dyna pre-sale. So it's just first come, first serve, and we will see who actually makes the cut. So yeah, guys, we definitely We'll be active in Telegram for anyone who has questions, and we are audited and KYC'd by Solid Proof already. So it's already done. And yeah, guys, we already have the pre-sale as well created, so you can see it on Unicrypt. And yeah, so just super excited, and so much more to come. We have a few more AMAs, and then it's ready to launch.
Yeah, awesome, Cameron. And I was just wondering, around the vaults, there's a lot of projects offering that sort of service to investors, and how you're looking to do it differently, and how you're going to attract the investors compared to the competition.
Yeah, firstly, I haven't seen any competitors doing what we do as far as the custom yield payouts. I think that's one differentiating factor. Like, that's massive. So being able to choose if you want stable, native, or Dyna payouts is pretty incredible. And then beyond that, the seamless bank connectivity from inside your dashboard is epic. So we support over 10,000 banks, and that's through Plaid. And you can go in and out of your Web3 wallet, like MetaMask, Trust Wallet, directly from the dashboard. So, all this together creates the finest personal saving experience, which is our ultimate goal. So, yeah.
Awesome, Cameron. Well, it's been great speaking to you today. It's great you're building in this market. It's a bear market, but that's the time to sort of build. Hopefully we're going into a bull market at some point in this year, and yeah, you seem really, dedicated and enthusiastic for the Dynamic project and the team you mentioned today. So that's exciting going forward, and some great ideas. And yeah, hats off to you that you're able to see the sort of bigger picture and say, yeah, it's a bear market, that's no problem. You're very confident and excited for the future, and you're prepared to launch it. And that's great for investors. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the Unicrypt pre-sale for the team and the community. And also I've got to say, as we say, welcome to us for education and research purposes. It's not financial advice. We recommend the community investors check out the website, the white paper, and there was a few hands up there. So if you've got any questions after the AMA, you can join their official socials. They're in our main chat, and there'll probably be a link there to the pre-sale as well. So yeah, going into the pre-sale. So is it a fair launch so anyone can get involved, or does it open up to everyone after a certain amount of time?
Yep, exactly. So no whitelist, first come, first serve.
Well, thanks very much for coming today, Cameron. I'll finish the recording, send over a copy for you to share with your community. I'll send that into the main chat for any investors that couldn't join the call today. And yeah, take care.
Well, thank you guys so much. It was a pleasure. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to coming back. I think we can do this again, hopefully in the future. What do you think?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, keep us updated, and yeah, after the launch and as you're building, yeah, that'd be great to have you back in the future. We always support anyone that's come for an AMA here and into the future, and yeah, and if you're doing well as well, a few days into the launch, we'll always send out some tweets and show the community how well it's doing. So yeah, awesome.
That's great. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And I wish you all best success and just all good luck coming soon.
You too, Cameron. Yeah, take care.
All right. All right. See you guys.